Overtime! Hey guys, welcome back to Overtime Arcade. I'm Charlie, and today I thought we would make some progress on the restoration project of my Sega OutRun Mini. And yeah, guess what? We've got some news. The board is working, and the monitor's working, and the speaker's working. And yeah, that's certainly an update from last time. Now, I know a lot of folks are probably going to be disappointed. They wanted me to work on the Atari Battlezone Cabaret over here, and don't worry, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that soon enough. I think I have everything I need now to repair and restore the Battlezone. But today we're going to focus on the OutRun, and the reason being, this is the most requested game that my kids keep asking me for. They keep asking, Daddy, when can we play OutRun? When can we play the driving game? So I thought I would succumb to the pressure of my kids and work on OutRun. So since last time, I've done a little bit of work, really not too much. Basically, you know, I wound up with two completely separate OutRun Mini cabinets. This one, which is the one I kept, I got originally from Dell's Arcade, Delusional's Arcade. He gave me a great price on this, and it's actually not in bad shape. The side art is intact, little dings and, you know, that sort of thing. No problem, nothing to worry about or replace. But when I got it, you know, the board wasn't working, and the monitor wasn't working either. And I don't think anything was working. The power wasn't working. So I tinkered with it a little bit. Really didn't get anywhere. I tried testing out the board. I think I did a video about that a while back, and nothing doing. I picked up another OutRun Mini cabinet. That one had been painted black and converted to Turbo OutRun. Yeah, and that was working, but it was painted black. I think the pedals had been replaced with like a homemade gas pedal. The dashboard was completely destroyed and replaced with like a homemade wooden thing. The steering wheel was like wrapped with like baseball bat grip or golf club grip. And so it was rough. But the board was working. I did keep that. And I really didn't need two of these cabinets, so I ended up sending one to a very good friend of mine and channel member, Cameron Cardwell, out in the Kansas City area. And that should be delivered by Fastenal any day now. But yeah, so I kept tinkering with stuff, and I sent one of the an OutRun board to Cameron, so he got, you know, a complete cabinet, plenty of work to do, and the OutRun board that was I think the one that was originally in this cabinet. You know who else? Another hero of mine is Mike from Mike's Amateur Arcade Monitor Repair. He actually sent me a whole box of stuff, a ton of parts, including a game PCB. Now that was not quite working when I got it. It had some graphical glitches, like there were sprites that weren't showing up, like the actual, the car, right? And like the super scaler sprites on the side of the road weren't showing up. But, you know, with some fiddling, I was able to get that thing working, you know, reseated sockets or socketed, you know, chips and all really kind of basic stuff. And now it's working. You can see right here. And messing with the monitor a little bit, I got that going. Really didn't do any repairs, just, you know, making sure everything was, you know, power connector properly, whatever. The colors are all kind of screwed up. I think that's supposed to be black. So the colors are supposed to be more pastel, so they're all overdriven, whatever. You know, nice and like crisp though. So that's not bad at all. We'll have to do a cap kit or whatever, but that monitor doesn't look bad. So thank you, Mike, for sending me parts. Maybe some other stuff we might use. I think there's another shifter, because this one's sort of a floppy mess right there. So we might use a shifter Mike sent me. He sent me some other stuff too. So thank you so much. And if you guys aren't already subscribed to Mike's Amateur Arcade Monitor Repair, what are you doing? If you're in this hobby at all, you need to watch Mike's videos. I've learned so much about K7000s and all types of other monitors. So there's a link down below. Make sure you subscribe to Mike's channel. Again, Mike, thank you for your generosity. So yeah, at this point, you know, a lot of this is like already done, right? So the monitor is working. We're gonna put a cap kit on, make sure it's all dialed in. The board is working, which is amazing, and you might be able to hear it. Hopefully you can hear it. But we do have some things to do. This dashboard is intact, but there's a bunch of cracking in it. And the worst piece is over here. This part was broken and repaired like sloppily with, I don't know what this is, glue or Bondo or something with a piece of plastic. So we'll get that fixed up. The steering wheel is okay. You know, there's a lot of wear and some of the rubber's been taken off. I might just live with this. I've got a new cover to go over the, like it's like an emblem right here. I might just live with it. You know, I don't know if there's really a way to repair this type of sort of damage. Maybe if there's a replacement steering wheel out there, I'd be interested in it. I got a new sticker for it. You know, we've got some restoration work to do. Obviously, we'll clean up all this rust. There's some, you know, dings in the cabinet that we'll fix up. I'll leave the side art. You know, this is probably the worst of it right here. It's not worth replacing. I'm probably going to do a mod to backlight the marquee, because originally this thing was not backlit. So I'll put a light back there to light up that marquee. Our biggest issue, other than this dashboard, is going to be down here. This is the biggest issue. The cabinet's been damaged, so I think that toe piece basically wants to fall off. So we'll figure out a good way to repair that, get that looking nice and new. I've got new rubber grip to go on the I don't know what you would call that, the stand plate, that sort of thing. But yeah, the other thing we're gonna do is, and I guess with free play, it just auto starts a game, because like, you know, I can just hit the gas and go. You'll notice though, I can't steer. I can't turn. There goes the shaker motor for force feedback. That works. The shifter doesn't work because the original gears are smashed. There's pieces of them right there. Obviously this thing is a mess. We'll have to clean that up. But yeah, the gear, you know, doesn't turn anything. What I can do though is I can manipulate it with my hands, I think. How was I doing this before? I don't want to pinch myself. Oh, I was steering the wrong way. I'm trying to turn the gears by hand. Yeah, see, I'm turning to the right now a little bit. So it's not a PCB issue. It's not a sensor issue, pot issue, whatever. It's the gears. And fortunately, I have a set of, oh, the music's so good. I do have a set of reproduction brass gears to replace these original nylon ones that are always smashed. So yeah, a lot of work to do, but really not as much as I was initially thinking, especially with this, this board working, right? So let me get the tripod set up and we will tear into this thing. All right, I think what I want to do to start is take this whole thing apart, strip it all down, you know, get the lay of the land, and you know, we can focus on fixing the damaged toe on the cabinet, give everything a nice cleaning, and I think we'll be in much better shape to proceed. And I can't remember if I mentioned a moment ago, I did replace the switching power supply that was in here. It had been working. And I actually went to turn it on to start recording this video, turn on the whole thing, and it was dead. And I was worried that the board had a problem, but there was no LED. There was no LED light on the board, but then I noticed there was no LED light on the power supply, the switching power supply. The monitor was coming on. I could hear the transformer. I checked the fuses, everything was good, but it was just a bad power supply. So good thing I had a spare on hand. So I want to start, I'll take the whole control panel off. We'll disconnect, oh, it's filthy in here. We'll disconnect a few Molex connectors. I gotta vacuum this. Clearly a rodent of some sort has been in here at one point. And I'm guessing drinks were spilled based on how the wood is stained, but that's disconnected. We've got a grounding screw. Is that? There we go. Took a little coaxing. That's not bad. Oh, these screws are long. There's a grounding wire right here. I'll just leave that in maybe. And this thing is heavy, so ooh, this one is a little tough. I don't want to strip these screws out or break them. It would be worse. I think that's what just happened. Maybe. No, those are screws that go into bolts. Isn't that interesting? There are bolts embedded in the wood that these things go into. They're not wood screws. Interesting. Okay, and this dashboard is heavy and is going to want to fall right off, I think. Okay. Bouncing it on my knee. And this thing should come right out. Yep, okay. Man, what a weird design. I kind of want to, I'm going to sit it right on the steering wheel, because otherwise it'll break the plastic. Yeah, this dashboard plastic is not great. Okay, we will vacuum that out. Why don't we get the monitor out of here? That's real heavy. I got tons of room in the garage right now. I actually spent the better part of the weekend cleaning and organizing. Took forever, but I'm very happy that I did that. I've got more room to work around here. The whole table, the whole folding table that I had had for over a year, just covered in parts, that's all cleaned up. I got a bunch of my spare tubes put aside. This is not a grounding for the monitor. This actually, they used a wire to hold the door. But let's disconnect the monitor power and the video signal. In this K7000, it's a 19K7901. This thing is filthy. Come on. We will be definitely washing this monitor before we do anything to it. I think it comes up through the front. I'm running over the power cord. Tuck that in there. Okay. Let's see. There's a couple of screws holding this inner bezel. And don't worry, the glass bezel is downstairs in the basement. Safe and secure. I would not want to lose that thing. The original artwork glass bezel. This is just like an inner shroud piece that does have the Sega like license sticker. See, it's 21/829. So we'll put this off to the side. Find a safe place for it for the time being. And I often do that with glass bezels that have artwork on them. I move them down to the basement because my garage is not climate controlled. The basement is, but the garage is not. So, and you know, when you have like artwork printed or painted onto glass like that, you know, as you have temperature fluctuations in the garage, you know, very subtly, oh, I got it on the first try, very subtly, the cabinet, I need an extension, the cabinet will expand and contract at a different rate than the glass will expand and contract at a different rate than the paint will. So eventually, you know, they're expanding and contracting at different rates, and they'll separate and the paint will flake off. And so bringing that bezel down into a climate-controlled space like the basement is a good way to avoid that type of damage. Okay. Off camera, I already loosened the mounting nuts a little bit, and the whole monitor shifted down like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch, and now it's resting on, I don't know, like there's the slots on the frame of the tube are not circles or ovals, and now it's gone so that it's on the bottom. So we can adjust the height. Great, I just dropped a washer. we can adjust. We can use that to adjust the height to make sure everything is lined up with the bezel when it's installed. Let me find that washer real quick. Yeah, right away. Okay, no problem. All right, we'll get everything out of here. Try not to drop anything else, Charlie. Yeah, this is going to be a crowd pleaser for sure with the kids. I mean, everyone likes driving games, especially little kids that, you know, are nowhere near old enough to be driving an actual automobile. This gives them a nice little simulacrum of the real thing. All right, how am I going to get this guy out of here? Okay, that's not bad. Oh, it comes right out. Imagine that. Okay. Look at that. Nice and wide open. Okay. What's my next move? Why don't we take the back door off entirely? Whoa. How's that for a plan? We've got the board set mounted right there. Almost cut myself, but not quite. So let's do this. You ever seen anyone take apart a OutRun Mini before? And that's what Sega called these. They didn't call them cabarets, but that's basically what they are. Cabaret, I think, was, I'm just connecting the harness. Cabaret was really an Atari term. Sega and Bally Midway called them minis. I think at some point, didn't Bally call them Mighty Mites or something like that? Mini Mites. All right, we got another connector here. Or another. This actually is a grounding wire, but still also, whoops. It also acts as a retaining wire to hold the back door from going crazy off. Got a staple holding on these. I'm going to cut that. There's a zip tie. I believe this is the 5 volts in ground going to the boards. All right, that's good. So I think the only thing holding the back door on is the hinges. And there is a lot more on the cabinet than on the door. So I'm going to take them off of the door because there's three screws on each hinge holding the door on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holding the hinge to the cabinet. So okay. Now we just got 2 more screws here, but the cabinet's going to get all loose when I do this, or the door will. Okay. Okay. Are we not free? Oh, there's inner screws. Okay, there's only, okay, I see what's going on. I see. Of course, it's got to be something. There's 2 more screws on the inside of the hinge. just one, I think. Now what's holding it on? Whoa, nothing, that's what. Whoo, Charlie! You are a lucky guy. You caught the door and you caught it on camera. Oh boy. All right, hopefully I didn't lose any of these screws. Let me take a moment there to regain my composure. Oh man. That was something. Yeah, that would not have been good. Okay, what's next? I might leave the harness in the cabinet. But let's turn this around. Something just fell. What is this? Oh. Oh. That's interesting. The lower hinge kind of, where am I? Fell apart. But that's okay, we can put it back together. The upper one did that. The lower one can't because the wood of the cabinet prevents that, I don't know, pin from coming apart. So that's fine. Let's see. Take a look what's going on here. All right, I want to take the coin door off next, I think. But in order to do that, there's a bunch of stuff that I need to disconnect on the inside of the cabinet. And hopefully you can see kind of what I'm talking about here. Let me bring you in nice and close. And one thing I don't like that Sega did here, get my chair, is they got, you know, Molex connectors on the harness, which is great, but a lot of these are then zip tied. It makes it really kind of difficult. Zip tied and then stapled. So, you know, I'm trying to figure out, like, I think this is the main coin door connector. Come on. Oh, there we go. And then there's one here for the utility panel. And then another one down below for what I'm assuming is the, that one's got like no slack, the coin counter. Oh, am I gonna do this? I can't even like reach my hands back there. See, it's like wedged. Yeah, that goes to the coin counter. I need slack, but like the whole harness is attached there. There's all these zip ties and everything holding it together. But it's got to go, so I'm gonna cut them. There's like this one has a screw mount, but it's not screwed together or screwed onto the cabinet. So I'm being careful to cut through the zip tie and not cut wire. There we go. That frees up most of that, but then there's another zip tie that's stapled. So we'll have to make sure we've got good cable management when we put everything back together. This one comes here, kind of cutting through the block of the zip tie as opposed to the zip tie itself. That way it kind of breaks apart relatively easily. Oh, there's another layer of it down below. Oh my goodness. Hopefully you can even see what I'm doing and my big fat head's just not in the way, which I'm pretty sure it is. More zip ties to cut. It's just everything is zip tied and zip tied and zip tied without a ton of rhyme or reason. That goes here. That's half the utility panel connection. I think that's for the credit maybe switch, and where does that go? That goes down here. Because there's a separate little harness connection for the volume pot. Okay, that's that. So now the only thing I got to get to is the coin counter. My hands just can't fit back there where I need them to go. Okay, I was able to disconnect the coin vault from the frame of the coin door. So this should, in theory, kind of just lift off. Yeah, like that. Okay. And we can move it over here and give me more access to disconnect this Molex that was almost there. Almost had it. There we go. Okay, how about that? Good job, Charlie. Oh boy. Okay. And now, just a couple more. Oh, and there were a couple missing, a couple bolts missing from the, where is it? Oh, that's not it. From the coin door. But I should be able to just remove these other bolts and make quick work of taking the coin door off. Come on. All right, there are these tabs that just kind of grab the inside of the wood. Nothing gets screwed on, it's just these grabbers get tightened down. Okay, and it's a pain sometimes to reach through and get them. Since this is a nice compact cabinet, I can do it from this side. Oh, this one has to come all the way off because it's got a grounding strap. I mean, I like the design of this cabinet. It's certainly a lot better than like the Gremlin style Sega cabinets. And hopefully it's just going to fall. I bet you that falls right out. Yep. All right. So there's the coin door. Now, I think I want to take the pedal plates off. And to do this, let's see. Of course it's zip tied. Oh, is that a, no, it's that's a, like a retaining thing, sort of like what Nintendo would use. But how is that mounted there? There is some kind of screw. Let me get this Molex connector. Okay. What is that? Is that a... It's like a screw for the grounding strap. I'm getting filthy inside this cabinet. Okay, let's see. Come on. How the heck? That was really on tight. I don't think I snapped it. Okay, now I think all that's left is bolts that are on from the front. So let me spin this around. And these are like giant security screws. I'll show you once I remove one what we're talking about here. Let me find a bit that will fit in there. All right, I think this is it. T25, is that the RV T25? Torx bit with a hole in the middle. Hopefully this works. Yeah, okay. It's not so bad. Not bad at all. There's all kinds of rust down here, but we'll take care of that. Fortunately, these bolts aren't rusted solid. That would be not fun to deal with that. Okay, now this should, in theory, unless there's something I'm not seeing, this should come off. Maybe this thing's holding it on. This was the security bolt. It's got a double stack bolt on it. Find a crescent wrench that'll take that off. First try. Don't you love it when that happens? You gotta grab the right tool, right size, right first try. Feels like there's a washer kind of stuck on the inside. Get that out real quick. There we go. Now this should come right off, right? Yeah, okay. Pull, prying it off here. The wood's kind of stuck. Oh no! I forgot one thing. Oh, and look at this. Okay. So this is missing like a pin. So this should not come up like that, but that's fine. We can replace that. But I forgot to remove one bolt here. All right. Now we're good. Now this will come right out. Right? Yeah, okay. There we go. Look at that. Look how filthy that is. Got these big old springs in here. And these gears are all gummed up. We'll have to clean and lubricate those and try to remove as much of the dust as we can from this. Look at that. Woof. It's all right though. Save all these screws. And there's a little plate here. I know what you would call this. Like a stopper for the brake. And there's also like a pivot point, I guess, or an end, another stopper. This is like a block of wood with rubber on it, feels like, for the gas pedal, but it's looking okay. What do we want to do next? Maybe take out the transformer assembly and, whoops, power supply, knocking things around over here. Okay. Let's see. How are we gonna get all this out of here? There's my brand new switching power supply that I installed. There's gonna be some kind of, come on. Let me dig through this a little bit and see where we can access this to lift the whole sucker out of there. Hey, stand with me. Okay, I think I'm largely disconnected here. A whole ton of little Molex connectors and zip ties I had to cut. I think we're down to just 2 screws. 2 big screws holding in the entire power supply assembly. So that's one. And number 2 is over here. Right there. There we go. Especially on the AC power side. A lot of these connectors look the same, so I don't know what we're gonna we're gonna put these back together. Hopefully I can find some kind of wiring diagram that tells me what goes where. No, it's not quite loose yet. All right, I need to, is it? Okay, we're almost loose. There's something over here. Yep, I see it. I see it. One more screw. That should do it. All right, we are free and clear, I think. Oh, there's some grounds that are connected. Okay. That and that. This ground is held on by a zip tie. Okay. And this one is held on by a nut and a zip tie. Ah, no. Yes. That's held on by a nut. It's like everything is just jammed in here. All right, I think I got the right socket for this. Unfortunately, it's not rusted on solid. There we go. Okay. And, you know, with the cabaret, the mini, everything's kind of packed in here tight. Making it just a little bit more difficult to work on, but we'll be okay. All right. All right, you son of a gun. Okay. What is tight? Something's tight. Something's tight right there. Okay. Recess. 1 ground screw. All right, that's how the, by the way, Ty, that's how the isolation transformer was grounded. There we go. Okay, that is out of the cabinet. Woo! Okay, we got a lot of cleaning up here to do. And I think the bottom of the cabinet has some damage that we're gonna have to repair. I don't know if you can see, there's like a crack here and a small one on this side. Almost like the base of the cabinet is caved in a little bit. We might just replace it. That might be the way to go. Anyway, oh, and I got a bolt here that's bent. That's going to be a pain to get this plate off, which I'm going to have to do to replace the Power cable. All right, let me get my bearings here, and we'll continue. All right, guys, here's where we're at. I went and took most of the rest of everything out of the cabinet, including the speakers and the speaker grills and the bottom sort of grip. I don't know what you even call it. The that rubber mat thing right there, and they're off the cabinet. It just looks so nasty. And obviously, we'll have a little bit of work to do to repair the damaged wood down there. Again, it's all just particle board. All of the parts are arranged out here on the recently cleared off folding table. You can see the pedal assembly here that I want to take completely apart, get all the rust off, clean it up, you know, put new grease on it, that sort of thing. Speakers and speaker grills. Here's our dashboard. There's a bunch of rust on the dash, like the hinge. So I think I want to take this completely apart. I mean, obviously we're going to have to do that to replace the gears, but I want to take that metal apart and figure out some way, I don't know, with maybe some of this kind of gel stuff that I have to strip rust off. Get that looking good. We'll clean up the power supply transformer assembly setup. Yeah, here's all the remnants I could find. I think this is the A gear, the main gear that goes around the steering wheel. And yeah, that's obviously trashed. This was the block that sort of is what stops the gas pedal. And these screws broke off inside and the wood's cracked. I'm going to try to drill these things out and then glue it back together and maybe put wooden dowels in and re-drill the holes, but that might be a pain. Here's the, I think this is the sound amplifier board right here. It's like 20 caps on this thing. We'll clean that up. We'll do a cap kit on that, of course, as will we with the monitor. Here's all the rusty parts and pieces I was able to take out. So all that little stuff, including like this is the front kick plate that covers up the pedal assembly. All that smaller stuff I'll throw in a bucket with Evapo-Rust and let it go for probably a better part of a week. And the bigger stuff, I got this like gel, I forget what it's called. Channel member Ty put me on to that stuff, but we'll get all that squared away. As you can see, I'm also multitasking, testing sample reproduction flybacks again for Peter from arcadepartsrepair.com. This is the latest sample of the reproduction Geo7 FBO 13-inch flyback. It seems to be going well. He actually sent me this tool over here to borrow. This is a Fluke 87. So what I'm using this for is to accurately measure the heater voltage produced by the flyback, because my normal multimeter, my Fluke 117, it's a great, you know, all-purpose multimeter, but for whatever reason, it and most even good sort of consumer grade multimeters can't accurately measure the 15 kilohertz AC, low voltage AC for the heater voltage, which should be like 6.3 volts. Typically for most monitors, it just can't measure, can't handle that sampling rate, but the Fluke 87 can, so I'll be borrowing that for a bit. Testing a bunch of flybacks for Peter, but yeah, let's come back over here. One last thing I want to do for now is take the marquee off and show you what's going on back here. I got a lot going on this weekend. It's Friday night right now. Need to get the video edited and out for early access by channel members. My mother-in-law is coming to town, which is actually a good thing. I like my mother-in-law. I know some people don't have the best relationships with their in-laws. My mother-in-law is great, but you know, we gotta clean up, get the house ready, that sort of stuff. Yeah, while I'm doing this, I'll tell you about the channel membership program. You've heard me talk about this before. We've got over 100 awesome people, you know, the biggest fans of the channel, and they support the channel directly every month. Basically, they donate $1.99 per month, and in exchange, they get access to a bunch of awesome perks, a monthly members-only live stream, early access to all the videos, typically 24 hours in advance, sometimes even longer, sometimes shorter if I'm running behind. And they get access to our private members-only Discord, which is a really awesome online community, really positive and supportive. And if you look at the names here, on this list, you'll recognize a bunch of people, probably some of your friends, and also some other well-known YouTubers in the arcade restoration hobby, including Delusionals Arcade, and What Would Jeff Kinder Do, and Jacklick, and actually our newest channel member, Cosmic Cottage Arcade. You might not have seen his channel, maybe you have seen his channel before. Cosmic Cottage Arcade has an awesome YouTube channel. He's got an incredible collection, great mix of arcade games and pinball machines, so definitely you want to check him out. Got a link down below, Cosmic Cottage Arcade on YouTube. Check him out, subscribe to him. We want to send more viewers his way. And Ross, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. Really appreciate your support. Appreciate your support, and I like your channel quite a lot. So glad you're joining the community here. Anyway, yeah, check the link down below to learn more about what it means to become an Overtime Arcade channel member. And thank you to all the awesome people for all of their support through that program. Anyway, we got the top marquee bracket out. And get this bug out of here. Pull the marquee out of the way, and look at this. There's nothing. There's nothing in here. No marquee light, no nothing. But that is to be expected. That's how these cabinets were set up. So we'll do a little mod here. I usually try to keep everything as original as possible, but this thing can be backlit, and there is place to mount it here. So we'll run some AC up here. We'll get a little light to illuminate the marquee. But yeah. So we got plenty of work here to do. I was really overly optimistic that I could do this entire thing in a one and done video, but that's just not in the cards. But hopefully it won't be too long. Maybe 2 more episodes, I think, and hopefully we'll have this awesome OutRun Mini ready to go down into the basement. Because guys, I am picking up a ton of games. I got a ton of trades in the works, spanning multiple states. Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Ohio, including a couple of very, very well-known YouTubers who I have not mentioned in this episode, and also some very well-known collectors in this hobby. And some channel members are involved. It's going to be great. There's like 20 cabinets changing hands total. I got to rent a 12-foot trailer for 2 days. I'm taking 2 days off of work to do that. But I need to make some room in the garage here. I need to make some room in the basement. I gotta get the Red Baron has to go down into the basement. The OutRun has to get finished and go down into the basement. I got a lot of work to do. There's a game over here that's I've only unveiled that in a live stream. It's kind of still a mystery if you missed that live stream. That's got to go down into the basement. So I got a lot of work here to do. I got to work on the OutRun, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, I think we'll wrap it up here. As always, thanks for watching Overtime Arcade. I'm Charlie, and I'll see you next time.
Overtime!